What's up, H-Town and all around? Welcome to the Dash Dispatch. All the time. With me tonight is Laura Gómez, the Laura Gómez. How you doing, Laura?
It was a tough weekend for my soccer team. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good, but not the way that I wanted to start off the week for sure.
It was definitely a tough weekend for Houston sports as well, across the friggin' board, So we're missing a couple tonight. The dynamic Foxtrot is still building for SpaceX, so he's at work currently right now. And then Dani, who you don't see on the show today, it's her birthday. So make sure y'all reach out and tell her happy birthday. Right? Dani's enjoying herself. She gets time off today. We'll call it PTO.
How dare she not be here doing her birthday? How dare you, Dani?
Better be getting pampered right now, exactly at 2:30, 2:53 on a Monday afternoon. You better be getting pampered right now. All good. Dani, enjoy your birthday, and we'll see you again next week or this weekend at the game. Sorry for the dash. But, there was somebody brought up a theory this weekend, Laura, speaking of youth and sports. Dani goes to every sporting event possible in Houston, also volunteers at every sporting event. Shout out to that girl. She's insane and inspiration as well. But on the other side of things, somebody sent me a text yesterday and said, Dani seems to be at the games and we're not winning. Astros were losing. The Astros were losing Thursday and Friday. Saturday, she was at the game, down 6-0. She left at 6-0 to go to the Sugar Land Cowboys games. Astros ended up winning. and then yesterday they ended up winning and she wasn't at the game. So, and then, I think the Space Cowboys I think they won. I'm not sure. I don't know how she would, hopefully they won because they were playing the Rangers, AAA affiliate. But just a theory somebody brought up that, she might be a bad luck charm, but that can't be possible because she's been doing this for quite a while. So whoever sent me that text, you're a stinker, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, because if that was true, then how did she get all the way to California? Right. So I'm not going with that theory.
Right.
That has been debunked.
It's a what do you do for me now kind of a moment. So you look at, we're losing. Dani was at every single game. Dang. Yeah, but look at the long term. Yeah, but Dani, enjoy your birthday. We'll talk to you soon. Laura, from having fun with Dani and her birthday, and is she the reason behind Houston losing this weekend? We have to talk Houston Dash now because I also heard she finished the baseball game on Friday and then went, I think, across the street to watch the game or something. And that's when Angel City scored both their goals. So we'll have to ask her to confirm that. But I completely turned it around. I was like, hey, if that's true, she was at the game against Boston and we killed them 3-0. Should have been 6-0. So, theory obviously doesn't take place. It just happened to be a weekend thing. But, Laura, we did go to Los Angeles. We did play Angel City. We did not come out with the victory that we were hoping for. We did fall 2-1. Starting lineup was exactly the same as the week before. We kind of expected that. So it is what it is. Man, it's just a 2-1 defeat, kind of heartbreaking there in the second half. But there are positives and there are negatives. But Laura, first, your thoughts on the game.
I'm going to go into the superstition train too then because I hadn't eaten anything and I was like, okay, I can go. I made a pizza, homemade pizza, and I was about to sit down and eat it. And I took my first bite, and the opposing team scored, and I was like, I almost died eating a pizza, and I was like, what is going on? And then I turned around for 2 seconds to get something to drink, and then I was like, I'm going to bed.
You didn't even have time to wash it down.
I did it. I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed now because I don't know. I turned it off and I was like, okay, maybe if I stop watching it, they'll win. I went into the superstition mode. And it didn't happen. So it's not me. Okay, guys, it's not me.
It's not Laura. It's among other things. There were things that were questioned, but let's focus on the positives first. and foremost. Gameplay still looked really well. The press still looked really well. The rookies are still playing really well. Kiki Van Zanten didn't play as well as she did the week before, but the ball play and the movement, 9 minutes in, Maggie Graham ends up heading the ball into the net. You know, you have a cross from A.B. Patterson and Mackenzie Robbery. I don't know if that was her intention, but she just headed it back up in the direction of the other of the post, and here comes Maggie Graham to finish it off and put it in the back of the net. But it was beautiful build-up play to get us to that point, and we had moments. But again, the question is where are the goals going to come from? But besides that, defense looked strong. I didn't count Angel City as much of a threat in the final third, and we weren't much of a threat in the final third either. But positives for me was still having the good ball movement, but that press was impressive. And if we could just do better ball movement out of that press and create better chances, I think it could be look a lot better. What were the positives you take from this game?
I mean, I think I concur with a lot that you just mentioned. I feel like that, the team was pushing forward. I feel like they were trying to search for that, for that score and having a good position in the ball and, um, really standing up to one of the league's favorites, honestly. I mean, you just have to listen to other podcasters and and other media outlets and take a read. And everyone already had said, the Dash is not going to win, and this is what they're doing wrong, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that it did kind of change a little once the team was showing a completely different of what they thought. Unfortunately, you know, it's something that we've seen in the past. Um, there were some mistakes done, and the opposing team found the perfect momentum to score in those mistakes. So honestly, for me it was heartbreaking. It was unfortunate, especially it's a team that has so many followers, so many people with eyes on them. Um, as the opposing team does. So it just it made me sad because I wanted the team to showcase more than what they did.
Absolutely, of course. So it was good to see, though, even though we went down 2-1 within 5 minutes of the second half starting. So fell asleep outside of the second half. So that's going to be on for Brees and the team, not getting them back ready as soon as they come back out of the tunnel. Little lackadaisical, maybe a little giddy that we're up 1-0 or whatever it may have been. Just giving up 2 goals like that, you fell asleep. And then you get it back under control and you go back to the way you were playing in the first half, the first 45 minutes. And it's, we're lucky to get any kind of threatening attack on. We're building up, we're pressing, but nothing in the final third. And
Yeah.
so it's that same question again. Where are the goals going to come from? Substitutions were brought into question in this game because depth is something he's been proud of this
Mhm.
whole season. Granted, we just lost Yasmin Ryan and Delaney Sheehan, so that takes 2 off your bench into the starting lineup per se. So yeah, of course, some of your depth is gone, and now your depth is in question. And I wasn't able to make the last press conference, so I didn't ask him if he's still confident with his depth. But this game kind of answers the question where he'd made 2 subs and. I'm okay with the Nathia Bright sub and made plenty of time with the sub with her, but then you don't make a sub until the 90th minute with Clarissa Laracy. That was a big mistake. And then you left 3 other subs on the bench too. All right. You're struggling. Sorry, Cat Raider. You've been having a great time, but I kind of focused. I don't know. I didn't focus on you. I just kind of noticed you were getting mentally tired as well as physically tired, and your passes weren't as crisp, and they weren't going to where they should have been going. And you see the idea, but then the pass isn't complete. So it looked like you were just getting tired, and maybe that's the sub Clarissa Laracy could have been in with 75 minutes and given her a full 15 minutes instead of a full 2 minutes to get anything in, because you're not going to get any opportunities with 2 minutes, and then it's going to have to be a golden one to score that goal within 2 minutes. So would have loved to see that. Who else you put on the bench, off the bench? It depends on who's ready and who's fit. Could have done something else, but that was the one that stood out to me. So I don't know if you agree or if Fabrice felt the team was doing well in the substitution portion or tactical portion of the game.
It's kind of like what you mentioned. I think that once you start the second half, it might take you a couple of minutes to kind of catch your breath, get back into the mood of what you're doing or thinking about what, coach just told you that you need to do on the pitch. And again, I just feel like the little mistakes that the Dash unfortunately had, a team like,
Yeah.
the team that they played really, again, I feel like that's what really happened because, like, exactly what you said, Angel City played on that and they were able to score back to back. But after that, we saw again the team go back to formation and do what they needed to do and try. But then we run into the problem of who's going to score because we can have a really good, defense. We have a really good goalie. We have really solid defense. The midfield's decent. And it's something that I feel like a lot of teams go through. I just saw the men's Colombian team and practicing for the World Cup, and I'm like, okay, who's scoring? Like, so I'm just like, I feel like it's a problem that a lot of teams have that they don't for sure score that that you know out of the percentage that they're not going to score, they are going to score more than they don't. So I feel like, unfortunately, it's something that a lot of teams don't have, and it's something that the Dash hasn't for a while. That you can say, okay, well, how many goals is she going to score this game? Because the question is not, is she going to score? The question is how many. And I feel like that's something, it's not only the Dash, it's a lot of teams that have an issue, but it's something that I would want to see the team focus and perhaps obtaining a player that we know is good for scoring, not a team that, a player that perhaps scored, once in a while or this and that. I think that it's something that is vital for the team to make it to playoffs and make it far.
So we need strikers to score.
As simple as that.
Mentioned it. Yeah, and Reese mentioned in the press conference, I think he was asked about Kiki again, and he answered the question differently, where he stated we moved her to the 9. She's playing the 9, so now she's not playing that outside wing back or mid position. She's playing the 9 now, and that means Clarissa Laracy and Messiah Bright have moved down the depth chart. So he kind of said that. I don't know if he meant to say it in that manner, but he did. So obviously we took the hint. She did get to start 2 times in a row. Mackenzie Robbie has been doing a great job. Has had a goal, has created a goal. You don't expect her to do that too much more or for the whole season or consistently. She hasn't done that before, but it'd be a bright side if she does. She's gotten 3 starts. So Larissa Laracy has not been, wasn't ready to start the season, and I guess not in form or for Fabrice. And then Messiah Bright, probably the same thing. She got to play the second half here, but not getting much playing time. So it's where are the goals coming from? Who's the striker? Who's going to back up the striker? Can we create enough from the midfield and to where we're not being overloaded on the when we're being counterattacked? So our defenders are creating all the offense and then can't defend because they're busy doing something else or tracking back still. So it's a big question what we're going to do about it. And I guess we'll have to see from game to friggin' game, but I expect the same starting lineup in the next game. But anything else you want to say or talk about on against the Angel City?
I mean, again, I think it was a tough loss because I know that there's been games that they've been able to catch up, and it wasn't a score that was too crazy. It wasn't a score that I wouldn't see the team at least tying. Then again, it comes into play what you just mentioned, what we just talked about, that we need a player that's consistent. I think that that's key to all the major teams that consistently make it to the playoffs and consistently make it far. They do at least one player that's very strong in a position that they have. And they have a score because, again, like we mentioned in the last podcast, you can have, a lot of great things in your team and you can be an amazing team, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, the game is all about scoring and whoever is going to win. And the team that wins, exactly, the person that wins, the team that wins is going to be the team that scores. And it's harder. I want to say it's a little harder for you to always have a team that you don't get scored on because that's only going to take you somewhat far. We've seen it with the Dash. they've been to several games, that they don't let not, no score against. But again, that only takes you so far. Because if we have another team that goes out there and scores, 6 goals to 0, they're already going to be up, higher up in the stand than you are because of those goals, right?
Yeah.
So it's contradictory, I guess, of saying, every position matters and it does matter, but I think it has to be equal. You know, in the sense that we need to have a team that's balanced, not equal, a team that's balanced in order to be a team to be taken serious for making it far throughout the playoffs.
Right. Fabrizio has to figure it out with the 11 he has because that he has no choice right now because the transfer window is closed. So I think only intra transfers maybe can happen. I'm not sure, but intra league transfers can happen. But I'm not again. I'm not sure. So we have to wait till the summer to see if anything's going to happen. But since I segue to that, and Laura, I didn't put this in the script, so I gave you no notice on this, but we've done this a lot on the show from last year and building up to this year, and we like to manifest players that Angela should call and reach out to. Or maybe she's already called and we're just going to manifest it and just, be the ones that say, hey, we said it here first. So I have a couple players that I want Angela to go take a look at. One of these players I got from Manny from Orange and Blueprints over at Valley City Soccer. I want to make sure I give him credit for that. But, Michelle Cooper on Kansas City right now. She does have 3 starts out of the 4 games. Chewinga is missing. She's not playing the full 90 minutes. Kansas City is hurting. So is she available? You think she's available? So Angela, maybe reach out to Kansas City and see if they're in a need to, get rid of somebody that they may not be in favor of anymore, and bring that. That would be a player I would not mind bringing in to this team. Before I mention the other player, Laura, what do you think of her coming to this team if that was a possibility?
I mean, I think that a lot of players, for whatever reason, sometimes they don't find what they need in order to grow and in order to show everything that they can. I mean, we've seen it in, with players that that player's good and they're put into a team and nothing really happens, and then they get switched to another team and like everything happens for that player. So I think it's always a 50-50 chance of how the player is going to evolve in that, the team that they're placed into. So, if she's not doing well in the current team, why not? I think that, again, the Dash already has a good, solid players in the positions of obviously goalie, defense. I think, midfield, I think we're doing pretty decent as well. The team's doing pretty decent as well. So I think it would be a good transition to know that you already have a team that's so strong in so many areas.
That'd be nice. Be nice to add a nice proven striker, I guess you could say, because
Yeah.
we don't have one. We haven't had one. Laracy from Crystal Palace has only scored 2 goals in 2.5 years. So she's
Mm-hmm.
struggling big or in 3 years, so struggling big time. Messiah Bright's still trying to find her way, and she's got the motor, but she's just
She
trying to
does.
find her.
Oh my, she runs, she has a lot of skills, and there's a lot of potential there. Again, it's what I'm saying. You can be in a team as a proven goal scorer, but the rest of the team is not up to par up to what that player needs, and they won't be able to score. Or she can score all the goals that you need, but if they're getting scored on as well. It kind of shuts you down into like going into the, you know, not being able to get those points you need because you can't control the back. So a team needs to be well balanced, and that's why it's so difficult.
All right, well, we went in the direction of youth in this offseason. I mean, 100% youth. Even the two players that we brought in that had NWSL experience, I think only had 2 years apiece experience in the NWSL, and the rest were 5 rookies. So how about I name an 18-year-old that is just hot, hot, hot on the market, and I bet anybody involved is going to get into a bidding war, but she won't be expensive. So she is with JKT Queens in Tanzania, I believe is where it's
Okay.
at. Okay, her name is Winfrida Gerald. So I want y'all to look it up, look her name up. If you're listening to the show right now, you're sitting in your computer, go ahead, type her name in. She'll pop up pretty quick. Winfreda Gerald, she is a striker. She's 18. Her potential is off the friggin' charts. And I imagine you're not going to have to spend $1 million to get her to come over here, but we have stockpiled $1 million. So don't go give $1 million to that team. But, whoever's going to be the highest bidder, if she's that much of a high potential player, she's probably highly targeted by a lot of clubs already, but she is not with somebody. So go out there, Angela, reach out to this player if you have not already, because this is the direction that we've been going in. Here you go. Fits in the style. Youth, striker, dangerous, bring her in, bring her in, bring her in. So, Laura, like I said, I kind of bombarded you at the last second with this part of the segment, but look at that name. Check her out after the show if you have time.
I will.
Let me know what you think. But we need to find a target, I think, at a striker.
Yeah,
And
I think it would benefit the team.
100%, 100%. All right. Well, so Angela, do your thing. I'll be watching you. All right. That's the recap. Let's move on. That was the bad news. All the bad news. I'm getting all the bad news out the way. Suck all season and then somehow make the playoffs at the 8th seed and then go win the friggin' title.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy. Seattle, who's going to be a threat? 3-0 blanked Kansas City at home in Seattle. 3-0 blanked. Kansas City is falling apart. We've talked about them every week so far. San Diego, who we played first, is turning out to be a better team than what we first thought, and they're looking pretty good. They at home beat a very good Portland team who has started off looking pretty well as well, 3-1. Now we move to Saturday. Denver gets to host, Washington and Trinity Rodman in front of 63,000, setting the record by over 20,000 fans. Incredible. I did watch that game. I wish it was completely full, but it was almost, there was just little specks here and there at the very, very top of that football stadium. 63,000, but still shout out to those people that went out there, and it looked like it was fun. I wish I could have been there just to be a part of that atmosphere and that environment. Portland got back and got their win, 2-0. Kansas City drops another one. So Kansas City sucks. Let's just say that right now. And remember, Chawinga is hurt. Let's not say Chawinga's the entire team, but if Chawinga comes back and they start winning again, just take her out every game, make her kick you or something, and get a red card to where she's out, and then you just beat Kansas City's butt. That's all you got to do.
No.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't listen to him. No.
No. It's like that enforcer that's always whispering in your ear, and then you just get caught saying something or doing something. And then Seattle, again, we mentioned earlier, they played Racing this weekend, who is our next opponent, and they ended up winning 2-1. So Seattle is they're going crazy. They're three wins and 1 loss this season to start the season. So anything stand out with you on the weekend games this weekend? I ended up watching quite a few games while I was sitting at home this weekend. No Miley striker for me, so I got to enjoy some good women's soccer this weekend. But what about you? Did you get to catch anything? Anything stand out?
I saw some of the Denver game and I really liked it. Again, like the atmosphere and the world record is just really nice to see. The standard of really, having people go watch women's games, I think is just amazing. And I wish I would have been there too, like you said, just to be an ambient, all those fans were there to support the new team. And again, the same thing that you mentioned with Gotham, I'm like, what is going on? Like, it's just, I feel like they just want to relax, like the beginning of the season and like the mid season. They're like, okay, let's do something, I guess, and then just go full on out, and end up being the champion. So I don't know. Maybe that's their strategy. Maybe that's what they're gonna do again.
Sneak up on everybody at the end of the year.
Yeah.
We know they're play now, so they're going to try to sneak up at the end of the year, and everybody's going to beat them. Yeah, everybody's going to beat them. Decision day, they're going to get beaten. They won't be able to make it in. So it sucks for them. So now with that Wednesday game, some teams have got a game, have played an extra game, which means the Dash have a game in hand. So Dash are technically sitting in second place, but there's 4 teams ahead of them with 9 points. Angel City's 3-0. All these other teams are 3-1. San Diego, Seattle, and Portland all have a loss, but all have 3 wins and got their 9 points. So, Houston's right there. They didn't fall off anywhere. Still high up in the standings, which is good. So we'll see what happens next when we go ahead and host Racing Louisville this Friday night. Okay, night. I think it's a 7 or 7:30 game. I'd have to double check real quick. But Racing Louisville, they're probably gonna be in these ugly green uniforms that I saw them wear this last weekend. I don't like it. I'm expecting them to be purple. It's a 7:30 game on Friday. So y'all get there.
Mm.
It's pups in the park as well. So y'all bring your puppies.
Oh,
Y'all
I
wear
love
the
that.
supporter section. You'll have the all the water bowls and things for the dogs to do. So bring your pups out. It's not going to be too hot. The sun does go down and the shade is in that half of that half of the stadium. The first half and then completely shaded by halftime. So come check it out. But we are playing Racing Louisville, Laura. What are you looking into and expecting into this game as we host Racing Louisville and try to get back on the winning track?
I mean, just looking at the stats right now, they're in the 15th position. Like, Boston is in the last position. So Racing Louisville is, second to last. They've tied, I want to say, one game and lost two of their games. So again, and I know I messed up in the last one. Maybe I was too up high in the positivity train with the dash. But I want the dash to be, the teams that everybody's watching and the teams that everybody thinks is good. So I obviously gave the different score. I think I said 2-1, but it was for the team that wasn't the one that I wanted to win.
Right,
I got the
right.
score right. I just didn't get the team right. But again, I always say when we look at stats and when we look at papers, obviously it's different than when you look at the team. I have not seen a complete game of Racing Louisville. I only saw highlights. I feel like the team's very just score. They are not gelling right now as a team. I don't see them with a lot of plays that might lead them to score. So I think that, again, visually with the highlights that I've seen and on paper, it's a winnable game for the Dash. And you might be like, Laura, you said the same thing last week. Well, I stand by it. I stand by it, and I think that the Dash could have won with Angel City. Did they win? Obviously not, guys. Obviously not. We know the answer to this. We already
They
saw
look
the
like the
game.
better team, though.
Exactly. We saw the game. All right, guys, we saw the game. But again, if people don't look at the games and just see what's on paper, the Dash lost. It is what it is. We didn't see that they, were good during the whole game except for those two crazy minutes that things went downhill and they got scored on. But with Racing Louisville, I do see a game that could be, a 2-0, in my opinion.
Bing, bing,
I
bing,
mean,
bing,
I
bing,
would
bing.
I would say maybe 3-0, but just really depends, who scores for the Dash because again, it's a hit and miss for the team right now since they're still trying to figure out who's going to be the reoccurring forward that's going to be the one that takes the team with the goals. So I say a win.
Right, I agree with you, and I agree with you on the score too, 2-0. I don't think Racing has anything right now. Doesn't have anybody that stands out. They're
Yeah.
they're they're struggling together as a unit, like you said, trying to find their identity still. I watched some of their game against Who did they play this weekend? They were on the road. They're on the road before coming here this weekend too. So they're going back to back road games. Crap.
They played let me see. Washington Spirit. Washington Spirit 2-2. And then before that, they played North Carolina, and they lost 2-1.
They played Washington this weekend?
Washington Spirit, March 20th. What month are we in? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's March 20. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Friday. Yeah.
March 28th. March 28th.
March 28th. No, it says March 20th.
Yeah, who did they play March 28th? They played they were on the road this weekend. They lost.
Oh, they played Seattle. See, they played
Yeah.
Seattle. Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost 2-1. But
Oh,
look again,
2-1.
like but look, I mean, they've been able to score. It's not like they've tied 0-0, and it's not like they've lost, a lot. So, I mean, if they can find their way in there, they might be able to score. I mean, again, it's always saying we weren't there. Like I said, I didn't watch the highlights of it. And again, these kind of scores have been sometimes what the Dash has, and it's a game that I think the Dash should have won and they lost. So maybe I need to go back and maybe watch a good, first half or second half of Racing Louisville. But I still stand that I think they could at least do. I think they could do a 2-0 because I think that the team could do well at home.
Yeah, Racing didn't have any opportunities against Seattle, and the one goal that they did score was a through ball. It's just a midfielder played a through ball to their forward, who I think the defender just lost her in the moment, and she didn't run with her, and then the other defender didn't close quick enough, and she ended up finishing. So 2-1, but that was their one opportunity. And probably if you go look at their goal, whatever thing, they probably were under one for the whole game anyways too. So I don't see him as a threat, and I'm with you. I'm going to agree 2-0 win for the Dash. We get back on the track. We get back to the clean sheet track as well. Going back to Angel City, Malia Berkeley and Paige Nielsen still did a great job and still held it down. And it's just that little lapse in the 5 minutes right there for the whole team that just ruined it, obviously, for the team and took the L. So we're going to get back on top. We're at home. I'm hoping we can have a similar crowd than what we had for opening day, and we don't dwindle back down to the 5,000. So let's keep it back. Let's keep it up there, close to 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, something like that. It's a busy weekend. You have Dash on Friday, Dynamo on Saturday. So, and then I guess Shell Stadium has a new football tenant too. So you have the Gamblers coming in and playing on Sunday. So busy weekend at Shell if you live down. Pop a tent up and just stay down there all weekend. I think you have as well too. So definitely plenty of going on downtown Houston. But Houston Dash on Friday night, 7:30 versus Racing Louisville. We both predict 2-0 win, so we want to hold the team to it, and hopefully they will do that. We're not going to put ourselves on the spot to who's going to score because we keep asking.
No, I'm not.
No, when we ask the question who's going to score or where the goal's going to come from, I don't think we can predict where the goals are going to come from either. So I'd be happy if we could get that right and we get to make fun of it. But 2-0 dub for me. Mackenzie Robbie scores again. All right. I think that's a preview that we can move on from racing. I want to see y'all at the game. And if you don't have an opportunity to go to the game or haven't got your tickets yet, let's do our ticket giveaway for this week. And before we do our ticket giveaway, the winner of the first ticket giveaway, I had some technical errors on my end, trying to retrieve messages and not seeing them and not they went into the spam. So I didn't see some messages in time and was not able to get the tickets to the winner in time, but the winner will get to choose another game in the future, and we'll make sure that him and his daughter do get to make it to a Dash game and get to enjoy the game. And we'll even come by and see if they're willing to be a recording and talk about the Houston Dash as well. But so that's my fault, my bad. But we do have a new ticket giveaway this week. How do you win? That's a good question. So, Laura, I know you own plenty of jerseys.
I do.
This is random because this was Dani was going to give me a question today to use for this segment, but Dani got PTO and used it for her birthday, so we're going to give her a pass. But Laura, if you had no jerseys right now in your closet, club or country, what jersey would you be going for right now? You have enough money in the world to get whatever jersey. I mean, they're like $250 anyway. So, what club or country would you be getting? What goes to your heart first?
It's conflicted. Can I give you two jerseys and maybe make it for people?
Yeah, I guess so. You got to buy one get one free.
I mean, look, I will always be I think that's one of the players that I have followed and admire for a while, not only for what she has done on the pitch, but what she has done for women's soccer in general. For women in South America, I'm from Colombia. Marta from Brazil.
Oh, nice.
I think that she is, she's done so many things on purpose, so many things to really help out women's soccer. I got the opportunity to go to Brazil and went to one of the museums, and I was like, I told my husband, if I don't see Martha here, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose it, and I'm gonna be mad. And then, sure enough, there was a whole, huge section of information on her and what she has done for women's soccer, not only in Brazil but also for the NWSL and in general for women's all over the country. So I think for sure that's one of those jerseys that I would start off a collection if I never, if I didn't have one right now, or if I'm just starting off a collection. For me, it would be Michael for sure. Now, if you're going into your second jersey, I would for sure pick Linda Caicedo, the Colombian player. She's 21. She is talented, oh, so talented. I think sometimes too talented for her own good. I think that she's still young. She has things that she has to work on to become like, the best that she can. But she's so young. I wish I had that much talent at that age, and I think that she has so much to give off and off, on and off the field as well. I mean, she's also a player that came from a very low income part of Colombia. She went through cancer, 15 years old, and she prevailed. So I think that's also a lot of life lessons. And I think I'm very um, picky on what players I wear, what jerseys I want to spend my hard-earned money on.
Mm.
So I think in the era of media, I think that we also have to look at who the player is and what they've done also, and be careful with our money too, because at the end of the day, it's like, they're influencing you even though if you don't want to, and they still have some kind of influence. So I think it's smart to kind of also take a look and see who you're giving your money to in a sort of sense. And for me, I think as of right now, I think those two women have really, um, for me as a woman and being older than Caicedo and being a little younger than Marta, I think that it's one of those good mesh of two players that I would like to obviously highlight and say that the jerseys would be in the collection.
All right, nice. Again, say what your number one jersey is. What was the name?
Marta.
And then your number two?
Linda Caicedo.
There you go, people. So that's going to be the answer to the question for your ticket giveaway. Going to take
And make
either
sure to
answer.
reach out again. Make sure to reach out again because he's really good at answering in a timely manner. So if he doesn't answer, something's wrong, guys. And make sure to reach out because sometimes we don't have control if it goes into like the junk box and we check it, at the end of the week. Technology can be hard. It can be hard, guys. It can be hard. So just make sure we won't be bothered. If he doesn't answer, message me and I'll bother him. So don't be shy. It's not that we don't want to answer. Maybe we haven't received your message.
Somebody told me about the dump box, and I'm like, I'm used to the dump box. And they're like, well, Twitter changed, so you don't get notified when a message goes to the dump box no more. I usually
That's
have a
true.
message request, and then all the regular messages. I didn't have a message request. I had a hidden request that was hidden. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So someone told me where to go, and I saw it because this person did reach out, and it was already getting late. And so, like, someone said, hey, I was like, oh, mother. Anyways, but
Yeah.
all right. So, like she said, I do reach out in a timely manner. So if I'm not reaching out, there's something wrong, just go ahead and flood the actual the feed on the social that you're on, or whatever you're trying to feed on. Just let us know, and then when you get that response, then you can stop. That'll be cool. That'll be the Zap works, and you got my attention. So 2-ticket giveaway for this Friday's game against Racing Louisville in the Hustletown supporter section. The seats are down, by the way. So for those of you who are familiar with that section, it's not a standing room only. It is seats down. So you'll be okay. You'll be okay. But we do have 2 of those tickets for you. So just follow the socials and you'll know how to win those tickets or get put into the whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? All right. Anyways. Laura with the news. That's where we're at right now. Does Laura have any news for us today?
I do. There's a lot of news going on in soccer, but this was specific for Houston. So I grew up watching the Comets. I grew up watching them win championships.
How many?
And then I watched them leave. right? Which was a heartbreaking moment. I've never gotten over it. And over the weekend, we got really good news that the owner of the Houston Rockets has purchased, I want to say the Connecticut Sun.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the name of the team. Timon Furtada, he has bought the team. I think he paid $300 million. And the team will be coming back to Houston in 2027. So we have time to get ready and get hyped up and follow the current team right now, the Connecticut Sun. Watch them and see, because we need to cheer on those players, because they're going to be the ones that are going to come back to Houston. As far as I know, they said they're going to keep the name the Houston Comets. I don't know if it's going to be the same logo, the colors, but as far as I saw an announcement today, it said welcome back to Houston Comets. So we'll see, which is something that's huge. It's big just in general for women's team. The NWA has, done a lot to get women paid fairly after, having a lot of views and having a lot of people go to the games and they weren't getting paid. And fairly manner, which is something unfortunate that's very common for women in professional sports. So it's exciting to see the league grow. It's exciting to see the league pay women athletes. And it's even more exciting to see all that happening in our city, which adds another professional women's sports team to Houston. So I think that is amazing. We currently have three. So we have the Houston Dash, we have Love, which is volleyball, and then we have we're now going to have the Houston Comets women's basketball. So
all three are fun, and I'm assuming they'll play at the Toyota Center, so they'll be right there downtown as well. I'm assuming they'll be red and keep their colors in. I mean, they're the Houston Comets. You're keeping the name. You're going to keep the colors. Be interesting to see what the team looks like. So I'm excited for that one too. So I can't wait to go, and I can't wait to get a Comets and Rockets doubleheader weekend in on, having a good time.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to wear my old jerseys that I have from the Comets. So
nice. Yeah. That's crazy. That was back in that was in the Summit, or was that the Toyota Center?
It was a Summit. It was a smaller one. I think it was, because it was a smaller one. It wasn't in Toyota. As far as I was younger, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, it was a Summit, or Church Summit as we call it now. Mm-hmm. At whatever church took it over. Yep. But yeah. All right. Well, that's Laura with the news. Thank you for that. We're all excited in Houston for the Comets returning, and that's something that'll be fun. And it's not NWA, it's WNBA.
Yeah. And when I said it was so funny, because I'm like, wait, I'm missing a letter, but oh well.
NWA. I used to listen to NWA all the time.
WNBA. What did I say? The NWBA?
No, NWA.
Oh wow. Yeah. Sorry guys. It's really hard. Now say NWSL in Spanish. It's been years and it's really hard. I'm like NWSL. It's hard. I'm sorry guys. Yeah. It happens. It's gonna happen again. Sorry. I'll try my best. I'm trying.
The same way I butcher names on a weekly basis. So
we try.
Right. It does happen to the best of us. All right, people. This is the Dash Dispatch. I think we've taken enough time of y'all's time today. Laura, thank you for coming in today. This is Monday afternoon at 3:30. 3:36. We're logging out of the studios. This is friggin' fun. Laura, I'm gonna bring you a flag this weekend so you can have a background right there where your blinds are.
I know. Look, guys, I am remodeling one of my rooms, and I don't know. I had a little corner for me, and I haven't been able to properly set up. So this is what you're getting, okay? Don't let it be. It'll get there eventually, okay? It'll get there eventually.
Sorry, nobody's paying attention to the blinds anyways. They're listening to you bring the heat and every weekend.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right now we don't have to bring the heat. Right now we're enjoying the Houston Dash and we're enjoying the season, so we haven't had to bring the heat yet, but we'll bring it when we need to. But Laura, it is time for us to go. So if you have anything else to say or shout out, please do, and tell people where to find you.
That's it. I mean, I want to invite you guys to come on over and watch the Houston Dash. I think it's going to be nice weather. It's Friday. It's a good time to watch the team. It's at 7:30, so you have enough time to go after work, kind of start to de-stress. The stadium is, it's not huge. You won't get lost. You don't have to walk that much. The weather's going to be good. You can get food there. I think it's an amazing Friday night plan. So hopefully you guys will be out there for a game that hopefully the team will win and not prove me wrong again. So
I think we're going to. I think we're gonna have a good season. So we'll right now we're gonna continue with our winning predictions. That reminds me because I brought out the book real quick before we do leave. Say sorry, people, we're not leaving anywhere. Real quick, but
just kidding.
Yeah, so that is something that I did want to bring up. The dash and the schedule and who they're playing right now and what we're seeing to make ourselves believe that this team is going to be a top 4, top 5, top 6 team in the end of the season. The schedule that we've had so far, is at San Diego, at Angel City, Boston, right? So Boston's nothing. San Diego was a good win for us. Angel City, a win that we should have had, but we lost, but a good team. So we have Racing Louisville coming up next, bottom of the totem pole. NC Courage, at home. That's going to be a winnable game right there, okay? And then we go to Utah. I think we can win Utah. I'm not too worried about them. Are they at the bottom? Yeah, I think they're kind of sitting at the bottom. And then you're hosting Denver. Denver's going to be a little bit of a surprise right now, so you don't know what they're going to get. Abby friggin' Smith is killing it in the goal for them, and their defense is playing really well and protecting her now. So she's been a stud, and they're loving her in Denver, y'all. Abby Smith, Hook'em Horns, and former Houston Dash player. I know
she was amazing. She did an amazing job when she was here. So, I mean, I knew she was going to thrive wherever she went, and I think it was a good move for her because knowing that we have Jane Campbell, she wasn't going to have that much playing time, and when she's talented like her, she needs to.
And she found a starting position. That's what was important. So, if you're not going to find a starting position, just stay here. But she found a starting position, so that was a big one. Then we go to KC Current, who right now KC Current sucks. So, we should go up there. We should be favored, and we should win that friggin' game. And then is when we come back against Angel City, at Gotham, at Washington, at Denver, at Racing Louisville, and Bay. So the stretch starts right there, kind of mid-May. It's when I think it's when the test really start to come. So right now we're allowed to find our identity and get our feet under ourselves, but we can't make mistakes like we did against Angel City and take every 3 points we get and then see what happens at the end of that little schedule run right there where it's going to be a tough schedule, especially with the road games back to back to back to back.
Yeah, there's 4. They have 4 back-to-back road games starting late May. And they come back a month later, basically, against Bay here at home. So, yeah, those are the, it's a home
sorry, I didn't mention, May 31st is we're at Gotham, and then we don't come back again until July 3rd. So, right, there's that break. We don't know what that break is going to entail. Will it be the versus Liga MX again? Who knows what they're going to do for that break again? Or if teams are just going to have to find games to schedule, which will be weird. And we'll probably get 2 games again in like we did last year if we know for a breeze. So then it's, July 3rd and then July 12th and July 18th. And then we finish off July back at home against Bay. So that's a long time right there.
It is.
May 28th at home and then July 24th at home. And in between, you're on the road. So that's going to be telling. One, there is that month break in there too, so it doesn't sound as bad, but still, it'll be a stretch, and it'll be something that we'll have to come back to and talk about on the show in the future, and maybe remember this moment. But okay, Laura, thank you, everybody at Dynamic Foxtrot. This is Foxtrot TV, where you're watching us, and if you're listening on any other platform, your favorite podcast is, it's at Dynamic Foxtrot. Sometimes you just hit Noodle Time and everything pops up. We all keep it in one. So you got Noodle Time, the Dash Dispatch, or how's Herman do it? Dinamico, the Spanish version. Yeah, so if you like Spanish or if you're Spanish speaking only, go check out Dinamico. And then Foxtrot Game Day. We're going to bring you our point of view from the stadium during the game, at the game, and the press conference afterwards. And if we can catch any players in the mix zone, we'll make sure to put that in the Foxtrot Game Day too as well. So at Dynamic Foxtrot on all platforms. Go check it out. Make sure you let your friends know about the ticket giveaway. share it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And all they're going to have to do is give the correct answer. Reply on wherever they find the ticket giveaway at, give the correct answer, and I'll enter them. And then we'll give the tickets away on Thursday afternoon, the day before the game, to make sure that you have time to prepare for it and know that you win, so you don't have to actually go buy tickets. But Laura, thanks for coming in today. Hope to see you next
Bye.
week. We'll see you Friday. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks. I see you over there. I see you. H is up. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.